Well, first, let me thank Senator Merkley and Senator Young for chairing and arranging for this hearing. Getting our nominees hearings and confirmation votes is one of our highest priorities, and I want to thank the cooperation of Senator Risch and Senator Young in accommodating this hearing. I want to thank all 5 of our nominees for their willingness to serve our nation. We know it's a family event, so I thank your families as well, because they'll be required for the sacrifices. I know some of you are for different confirmations, and some are countries, some are not. I recognize that. When we have a hearing, we like to get as many as we possibly can in, but we want to make sure we have an opportunity to give members a chance to ask their questions. I'm going to just make a general comment about, and I welcome your response, particularly as it relates to Egypt, but that our policies need to be wrapped in our values. President Biden has said that frequently, that we can have strategic relations with other countries. Egypt's a very important country for the United States. It has it's normalized its relationship with Israel. It's a critical partner in regards to humanitarian needs in Gaza. It has an incredibly important role to play in regards to peace in that region and the expansion of normalization. But Egypt has very serious human rights violations by its government. It's still operating basically under the autocratic rule as a result of the challenges they've had from violence in their country. So my question to each of you is how will you make sure that American values, international values for protection of human rights are embedded in your responsibilities representing the United States, either in country or the positions that you have been nominated for? So we can start first with the...
Thank you for that question, Mr. Chairman. And human rights are part of our national security. They're not two separate paths. They are together. And I want to say thank you for your cooperation in Bulgaria. And this is an example that I would like to highlight where we were, by working together with you and your team, we were able to make significant progress on rule of law, thanks to the authority that you have given on the Global Magnitsky Act, for example. And so moving forward, it's important for us to not only look at the range of authorities and the tools, but to continue to work together to try to promote them.
Thank you. Mr. Martin, I'm curious as to how you, in the role as an Inspector General, can advance. I understand you're making sure we're complying with law, but how do you make sure also that there is sensitivity to the mission of USAID, which is very much our values?
Very much so. So I think the word accountability is key to promoting the democratic values of this country. As the world's largest donor nation, and I think that shows the spirit of the American people. But I think we need to have proper checks and balances and accountability to make sure that those funds are going into the right hands and having the desired effect.
I appreciate that. Mr. White, you're being nominated for one of my favorite organizations in the world. There are days I would like to trade places and be in the Peace Corps rather than here. It seems like it would be a nice place to be.
We're recruiting, Mr. Chairman.
I appreciate that. I might have some time after next year, so I'll let you know how I'm doing.
Yes, sir.
But if you could just tell me how you see American values in the ambassadors we have under the Peace Corps, how we can strengthen that relationship.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just say briefly that we have to live our values. It's really the power of our example in looking at volunteers as grassroots diplomats that's going to make the difference here.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Booker, thank you for your patience. It is now your turn.
Truly grateful, and I'll always give deference to our chairman, Senator Cardin. Always, sir. Always, sir. You could look so dubious at me.